students. Okay. That's good.
Well, here we are. Good evening, students, parents, faculty, staff, friends, and distinguished guests. My name is Dale Moore, and I'm proud to be the principal of the Riverside STEM Academy.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to this inaugural Riverside STEM Academy High School commencement ceremony for the class of 2017. There we go. I was waiting for that. Let me now introduce one of our salutatorians, Miss Selma Kondoker, who will lead us in the flag salute. Selma?
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance with your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may all be seated.
Thank you, Selma. At this time, I would like to recognize the outstanding accomplishments of the students seated up on the stage with us today. Their accomplishments for their 4 years at RSA have been exceptional, and we are proud to recognize them today. Our salutatorians, Mr. Aaron Aguirre, Mrs. Ms. Selma Kondoker, and Mr. Corey Lunsford. And our very first valedictorian, Mr. Alex Herrera. We are honored to have the four of you represent our school, and we celebrate your hard work and accomplishments. We also are joined today by several special guests on the stage today, and I would like to take a moment to introduce each of them. Riverside Unified School District Superintendent Dr. David Hanson. Riverside Unified School District Board of Education President, Mr. Brent Lee. And Riverside Unified School District Board of Education member, Mrs. Kathy Alavey. And we also are very privileged to have University of California Riverside Chancellor, Dr. Kim Wilcox. We also have a number of honored guests with us this evening from the university and community, and I would like to recognize them as well. There's Dr. Cynthia Larive. I practiced that, Dr. Larive. Over here to our right, our honors guests. Unfortunately, our honored guests over here are in the sun today. Thank you for bearing with us. who is the interim provost and executive vice chancellor, Catherine Urich, dean of the College of Natural Agriculture Sciences, CNAS, Dr. Michael McKibben, division dean and student academic affairs at CNAS, Dr. Sharon Walker, interim dean, Bournes College of Engineering, Richard Cardullo, interim vice provost, undergraduate education, Dr. Marco Princivac, it's been a lot of years. I try to get that one every time I said it. Interim Associate Dean, Bournes College of Engineering, which is right in front of us, or right in front of me here. My good friend, Doug, almost gave you a new degree, John. Mr. John Robertson from Riverside Unified, he's the science coordinator. And I didn't see them here, but been involved in the school from the very beginning with his family's name on the building behind us is Mr. Gordon Bournes. We also wanted to recognize Mr. Steve Clute, Pamela Clute's husband, and Mrs. Yeah, please. And then Mrs. Sue Johnson also has been involved in our school. There she is. Mrs. Johnson has been involved in our school for several years now. Well, this is the beginning of something new and the end for some of you, but a new beginning for you all. I'll be giving a message to you, but this is really the start as we welcome you here to our first commencement of something that began 6 years ago, and we'll be hearing more about that today. But you can see we're here on the beautiful University of California Riverside's campus with Dr. Wilcox behind me, and this really has been a partnership. This has been a teamwork with our district and board members and teachers. There were 6 teachers that we started it with several years ago, and support staff. Although she'll be embarrassed, my secretary, Julie Ellingson, has done some great work for 5 years. She's retiring. I want to thank you especially, Julie, who's put on our first 8th grade promotion 4 years ago that you guys were all involved in. And so it's just a special time for us. And so I want you, seniors, I want you to enjoy this. This is your time, and we're looking forward to enjoying this with you here. Now, thank you. Now, please welcome our salutatorian, Corey Lunsford, who will be introducing our honorary speakers this evening. Corey.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Please join me in welcoming, from the Riverside Unified School District Board of Education, Mrs. Kathy Alavey.
Thank you, everybody. Please bear with me. I woke up this morning with amphibians in my throat, and so I hope that you will be able to understand me. Good evening, graduates, parents, teachers, staff, and friends of the STEM Academy. Tonight, June 13th, 2017, a milestone has been reached. Our first graduating class. It was just 8 or so years ago that the board and the superintendent started a discussion about the possibilities of a 5th through 8th grade STEM school. And just about 4 years ago when we decided the continuation of STEM into high school. In public school terms, this is like cheetah speed. I don't know if I can stress that enough. How many of you graduates have been here since the school opened? If you could raise your hand. Oh, that's amazing. You didn't know it, but you have been riding a roller coaster of decisions, which tonight have culminated in success. Success for you, who have done the work necessary to earn one of our first STEM diplomas, and success for us up here, who have made decisions to grow the STEM school, direct resources toward it, and support it. I guess you could say that we had a dream for what it could be, and that you have made that dream happen. Usually when I address seniors, I like to tell them to follow their dreams, and I've always been a big supporter of Joseph Campbell, who was a professor of mythology at St. Lawrence and is famous for saying, "Follow your bliss, and the universe will open its doors." So you can imagine how surprised I was to read an article by 2 professors, one from Northwestern and the other from Lewis and Clark, which said, "No, don't follow your dreams. That is terrible advice to give to graduates." And I was very taken aback. I said, have I been giving graduates terrible advice all these years? What would they say? Don't follow your dreams? Well, TV host Stephen Colbert put it very whimsically when he said, if we'd all stuck to our first dream, noted Colbert, the world would be overrun with cowboys and princesses. Or in other words, dreams and dream careers, according to these two academics, are sometimes made without reflections, such as the deep-seated desire to be a concert pianist, but not willing to put in the hours of practice. Or, in more scientific terms, thinking it'd be really cool to be a thoracic surgeon and not realizing that you spend a lot of your time elbow deep in blood. Maybe you're not up for that. Sometimes a dream is chosen with reflection, but it's so narrow that you don't get to explore other alternatives. It's like deciding at 18 that you were only going to have chocolate ice cream for the rest of your life before you've even tasted goat cheese beet vanilla swirl. And I made that flavor up because I don't think there is one. Students, they say, may not consider many potentially rewarding vocations, either because they don't seem glamorous enough or because they do not yet exist. In 1972, when Steve Jobs graduated from high school, and that is the same year I graduated from high school, so I can attest that this is 100% true, no one aspired to head a company that made cell phones connected to the internet, because none of that existed. You might adhere to the words of Emerson, who could have had Steve Jobs in mind when he said, "Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." And that may be the same for dreams. Soon-to-be graduates who have no idea exactly what you want to do not fret. And if your ideas right now, tonight, are locked in stone, maybe you should loosen them up a bit. Things are changing very fast, and your vision today may involve hitting many curveballs, and that's okay too. So I am adjusting my advice tonight for this talented group of STEM graduates. It involves being open to many ever-evolving dreams and not missing the golden apple because we decided what we wanted to be in the 8th grade. Don't write off any possible path, but explore many, and don't be in too much of a rush if you can help it. Ask for advice and be willing to take it. Maybe then you will discover that the universe has indeed opened those doors to you in its own inimitable time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Alvey. And now please welcome RUSD Superintendent Dr. David Hansen.
Well, it is absolutely wonderful to be here this evening with each of you. Students, congratulations, 41 of you. You have a lot to be proud of this evening. This signifies 13 years of hard work and accomplishments, and you'll always be known as the first graduating class of this incredible STEM Academy, the class of 2017. Students, I'm going to come back to you in a minute. I have a story I want to share with you a little bit later on. Parents and friends, thank you. You know, you from day one have rolled up your sleeves. You have volunteered. You've given of your time, your resources, and we are better today because of the work that you've done, the vision that you've seen. You've sat through the many long dinners, maybe with the kids, not sure if they want to continue on this path of STEM, and you saw a vision that was greater than us all, and here we're so grateful to you and celebrating the success of your children this evening. So thank you, family and friends that are here. And to our friends at UCR, Chancellor Wilcox and all of the deans and our provost and the graduate students, on and on it goes. We are by far a better school because of the partnership that we have forged with you years ago, and it's just gotten stronger and stronger over the years. And when you look at this incredible setting, this has to be one of the most beautiful graduations I've ever been to. So Chancellor Wilcox, thank you very much for being such gracious hosts. And we look forward to many more years of that strong partnership with UCR as we move forward to construct and have a RUSD STEM high school in the near future. Thank you again, Chancellor Wilcox. Okay, students, I said I can come back to you. I want to share with you a story, just briefly. It's about a coach or a mentor, let's refer to them as, and a mentee. And one day the mentor and mentee were down on the beach sitting or with their toes in the sand and in the water, looking out across the beautiful ocean. And the mentee told his mentor coach that it felt like he always fell a little short, that there were others that were doing this race of life better than he was, that it seems like as he reached his goals, he thought he could always do so much better, and he was having a hard time finding joy in the journey. Well, the mentor was a little bit more wise and experienced in life than the mentee, and he had an idea. There was a canoe with paddles there, and he said, you know, here's what I want you to do. In their conversation previously, they had talked about the horizon, actually. They had looked out and they saw where the horizon was, where the sky touched the water. Because the mentee thought, if I can finally reach the horizon in life, then I would have arrived. People will know that I can do it, and I'm sure I'll reach my land of dreams once I get to that horizon. Well, this is when the idea came to the mentor. Saw the boat and said to the young mentee, I'll tell you what, you get in that boat and you row out to the horizon where the sky touches the water. And from my vantage point, I'll stay here on the shore. We have cell phones, and I'll let you know when you've arrived to the horizon. So that mentee, being eager, got into the boat, struggled through the white water, the crashing waves, and started sailing towards the horizon. When he'd done that for quite some time, he called his mentor and said, have I arrived? And he said, no, a little bit further, keep on going. And then all of a sudden the mentor said, okay, stop. From my vantage point, you've reached the horizon where the sky and the water touch. In the canoe was a large buoy and a rope and an anchor. And the mentor said, okay, drop the anchor into the water and mark where the horizon is, and then come back and see me. The mentee did just that very thing, and a few hours later arrived back at the shore. And as they were talking, the mentor said, okay, let's do this. Let's hop back in that boat, and let's both go out to where the horizon, the water, and the sky touch. And together they rowed out there again through the crashing waves, and by now the mentee had blisters, had a sore back, sore legs, was sweating, thirsty, and they finally got out to where that big orange buoy was in the water. And the mentor turned the boat around and said, look back at the shore. Look at how far you've come. Look at what you've accomplished. And then, after a while, he said, let's celebrate. And he had some snacks with him in his backpack. They had some cool water to drink. They had their favorite candy and snacks. And they said, let's just celebrate your accomplishments and what you've done, because you have reached the horizon. And then he said to his mentee, now look out the front of the boat. What do you see? He saw another horizon. There's 3 important lessons to remember in that simple parable. Number 1, we all need a mentor or a coach. Someone who's a little bit more experienced than us in life, someone who can look through a different perspective and help us through our ups and our downs. Number 2 lesson, it's so important to put down buoys or markers in life when you reach your horizon so that you can see the accomplishments that you've made. And number 3, students, take time to celebrate, because you're going to have many horizons in your life that you have a chance to reach. Take the time to celebrate. This is one of those horizons. Enjoy, celebrate your accomplishments, and realize that what you've done has been, number 1, really hard. You've persevered, and for 13 years, you've stuck to the task. So feel good about that. And then set your sights on the next horizon. And when you reach it, put down a marker. And the next one, put down a marker. And the next one, put down a marker. If you do that, from my experience, you will find joy in the journey. And you can measure your success and feel good about what you've done. It reminds me of a poem, or maybe it's more of a quote. Years ago I learned, it goes like this: if man or woman is to sail beyond the horizon, they must not be content with the gentle breeze which tests them not, but rather they must hoist their sails high into the winds of adversity and stay the course, that one day they might find the land of their dreams. So students, go out, reach the land of your dreams, mark the horizons along the way, and I know that this graduating class of the STEM Academy, the first class of 2017, will do some great, great work. Congratulations and God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Hansen. And now please welcome the Chancellor of the University of California, Riverside, Dr. Kim Wilcox.
Thank you and congratulations. I want to talk a little bit about how odd this day is. You're sitting there thinking commencement. We know it's graduation, right? It's really about the end, not the beginning, but it's weirder than that. Okay, we decide that you're all very smart. We're going to give you a diploma, and then we ask you to wear the stupidest hats you can ever think of. This is a funny day. Why do we call graduation commencement? It's because everyone says it's about the beginning of something. It's about the beginning of your life. But I know for you sitting there, most of you, it feels more like graduation. It feels like a culmination. Why? Because you know what's wrapping up. You know the classes you took. You know you had to get up early. You know that staying late. You know what you studied. You have no idea what the future might be. There's 60, 80, who knows how many years ahead of you, totally unknown. So it makes much more sense in this moment in time to think about the end of these 4 years rather than the beginning of something that's unfathomable. But let's put this in context. Let's go back to about 1600. Sir Francis Bacon was alive, walking the earth, and he's widely thought of as the father of the scientific method. Now appreciate, at his time in the world, people really didn't believe this science stuff. Knowledge was based on intuition. It was based on the belief in spirits and sorcery and alchemy. This wasn't about collecting data in a systematic way to learn more about the world. In fact, that seemed like a crazy way to do it because we're humans and we have a different sense of all this. So to people in Francis Bacon's time, the scientific method made no sense. All they knew was what they had had for centuries before them, and it seemed to work pretty well, believing in spirits and how the world worked. Jump ahead to 2017, and we have a whole different sense of that. After centuries of systematically collecting data, systematically analyzing and interpreting the data, we can now fly rockets. We can cure diseases. We can understand genetics and what actually comprises a plant or an animal. That could never have happened if we hadn't decided on the systematic collection of data and the interpretation in a scientific way. When I think about this kind of contrast, I think back about 2 years ago now when I was invited to lunch by Sue Johnson. Superintendent Hansen and I went to lunch, and Sue said, we've got to do something about the STEM high school. There's not enough room for it. There's no place for it. We have to think about a different future. And up until that time, what we knew was we kept adding a class every year to Hillcrest, right? That's how this worked. We had to think of a new paradigm. And the new paradigm was an academy that, as the superintendent says, we're excited to have right here on our campus in the coming years. And until this point in time, we only had one way to think. Now we get to think about a different future. And this is where your role is so important. Just as Superintendent Hansen said, you will be the first graduating class of the STEM Academy forever. And think about this. Build a new building on the campus. It'll be nice. It'll be spiffy. We're going to put your picture up, I'm sure, right? Yeah. Superintendent Dale, or Principal Moore, right? Yeah. We're going to put your picture up. It'll be there. Okay, all your names. That's good. Next year, we're going to put another picture. Next year. After about 30, 40 years, we're going to have a lot of pictures, okay? And it's going to be time to fix up the building. We'll have to plaster and paint. We're going to take all the pictures down. And then somebody, years from now, is going to have to decide, do we put all those pictures back up? Maybe yes, but maybe no. But I'm here to tell you, if the decision is we can't put up all 35 pictures, they'll put up one. And it'll be the first graduating class. Yours will be on the wall, I can pretty much guarantee you, forever. Because you are the only, because you will always be the first graduating class of the STEM Academy. So think about that for a minute. Up until this point in time, we don't have any context. But from now on, you are the context. You set the bar. Everything from now on, every class will be measured against you and referenced against you. And we'll think back to that point in time, just like we think back to Francis Bacon before there was a scientific method, we'll think back to a time before there were any graduates from the STEM Academy and how you marked the transition. So today, it is graduation. It is the completion. It's the completion of your 4 years. It's the completion of the STEM Academy now reaching its full maturity and graduating students. but it's a profound commencement. It's a profound commencement for each of you, and what your lives will become, we can only dream, and what it means for us here in Riverside and for RUSD as you now have created a whole new beginning for us. And for that, I'm here to thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Chancellor Wilcox. I want to add one thing there. One of our students, Claire DeVola, I know Claire's out there, actually had an idea, instead of maybe pictures, of having their DNA map on one of the walls. And so we like that idea, and we're going to remember that. And in this day, when I was in school, you couldn't do that. And so that's kind of an amazing thing. But thank you, Chancellor Wilcox. I really appreciate you being here with us today. Please join me now and welcome Valedictorian, Mr. Aaron Aguirre. Aaron?
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Next, our high school band, directed by Mr. Collins and joined by members of the RSA Middle School Band, will perform Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
Excuse me. Just be careful.
Thank you, Mr. Collins, and the members of the RSA band. I want to recognize Mr. Collins was our band teacher this past year, and then also recognize Mr. Chris Watts, who was our band director in 8th grade, and he's been helping out and assisting here. He's been here almost today, and we appreciate you all being here today. One thing I want to say is that we are a STEM school. We're focused on science, technology, engineering, and math. But music does speak to the soul, doesn't it? And so can science, but music really does speak to the soul. And we thank our band directors, starting in grades 5, for having a great music program here at the STEM Academy. Some of you have never heard them. And now I'm honored to introduce our first student speaker, our valedictorian, Mr. Alex Herrera.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Good evening and welcome, families, friends, faculty, and honored guests of the Riverside STEM High School. I'm glad to see that Ruben made it on time today. And I'm glad to see that Sarb made it at all, so good job. But I'm especially glad to see and congratulate STEM's inaugural graduating class of 2017. My name is Alex Herrera, and before I go any further, I would like to take a moment to thank a few special people in my life. It's the least I can do for all they've done for me. First and foremost, thank you, Mom, Dad, and Sister, for being my role models, #1 fans, and unconditional supporters in all that I've done. Whether it be soccer, piano, ASB, or Science Olympiad, you both always prioritize my schedule above yours so that you may give me the opportunities that you never had. Thank you for immigrating to the United States from Mexico, for your love and hard work, for pursuing your dreams and encouraging me to do the same. Thank you to Dr. Mubashir, both of you, for taking a chance on me and inviting me to work on our research project at UCR in that building right behind me. That experience inspired me to question our world, to search for deeper scientific explanations in our everyday lives, and it opened up several doors of opportunity that would have otherwise remained closed, and for that, I am extremely grateful. A collective thank you to all of my teachers for loving what you do. Your passion for teaching laid the foundation for your students' passion for learning, even if we may not make it apparent all the time. Thanks for bearing with us, Mr. Walsh. And of course, thank you to each and every single one of you seniors for making the past 4 years of my life truly unforgettable. From the carrot wars at Central, to our trip to Catalina, to our trips to amusement parks, to the Hector shenanigans, to our school dances and our senior events, and to our everyday classes, thank you for the memories that we'll cherish forever. Now, I know Sophia is going to hit you with life advice in her speech after me, so I'm going to try and limit mine. But I really do want to leave you guys with one final message, which is important to remember and often forgotten as we head into the next stage of our lives. Over the summer, I stumbled upon the phrase, empowered by perspective. A simple, universal message, but what exactly does it mean? I want y'all to just take one more look at our class. To me, we are the embodiment of the phrase, empowered by perspective. Because to be empowered by perspective is for the 41 of us to be in a friendly harmony despite the differences in our ethnic, cultural, socioeconomic, religious, sexual orientation, and political backgrounds. To be empowered by perspective is to realize we originate from all around the world, from all walks of life, and therefore understand why we have developed different opinions and outlooks on life. To be empowered by perspective is to not just hear Beowulf's story, but Grendel's too, to imagine yourself in their place and to learn from them. In order to be empowered by perspective, it is imperative to be an open-minded listener. And that is what I urge you all to continue to be as we head into the next big chapter of our lives. Open-minded listeners. In a nation world that is so politically and ideally divided, it can get very difficult to be one at times. People will have differing opinions. People will advocate for ideas you may not agree with. But instead of dispelling conflicting viewpoints as blasphemy, the first step towards change is to listen. Because as Albert Einstein once said, peace cannot be kept by force, it can only be achieved by understanding. Without listening, we cannot understand, and without understanding, we cannot converse towards change or compromise. Whether it be RCC or UC Berkeley, we're all going to be introduced to new people from all over the place, each with their own story worth listening to. We must welcome each of the 7.5 billion unique perspectives that we may encounter and allow empathy, which is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, to drive our conversations. Empathy allows us to place the common good of the people at the center of what we do and pursue, which is what I believe to be our responsibility as the next generation of global leaders. When we refuse to listen, understand, or debate different ideals, we set ourselves up for a world of hate and chaos. So strive every day to understand, strive every day to hear different opinions, and strive every day to listen to different stories. Whether you decide to become a doctor, engineer, lawyer, politician, or any other profession, I hope you continue to empower yourself with perspective as you change the world. To make a long speech short, just follow Childish Gambino's advice and stay woke, guys, and good luck in all of your future endeavors. Thank you, and congrats once again, class of 2017.
Thank you, Alex. That was an inspiring speech. And I'm proud to introduce our second student speaker of the evening, senior class president, Ms. Sophia Batista.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Pioneers, trailblazers, guinea pigs, and my personal favorite, the test run. These are the names that have defined us for the past 6 years. Isn't that crazy? 6 years. 6 years ago, we walked on a Central Middle School's campus and built Lego back scratchers in Mr. Standifer's class. We ran around campus and played infection when our parents came to those STEM meetings. We even threatened that we were going to tip the bus if our AP chemistry test did not get postponed. After 6 long years of symposiums, AP tests, sleepless nights, and not jumping jacks, but STEM jacks, we are finally going off to college. It's scary, but it's so exciting at the same time. It's funny though, because I feel like when I go off to college, you're all going to be there with me. I feel like Selma is going to be there saying, I'm seriously going to fail this test, but then get 104%. I feel like Standifer is going to walk into all of my classes with me and yell, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like Alex is going to be guiding me through all of my math homework. And of course, Murray will be there calling everyone poops when they don't do their assignments. As we move into this next stage in our lives, I just have a few words I would like to share. So here are 5 pieces of advice from me to you that I hope you carry with you into college. 1, find your passion and pursue it. Although we are only 18 and we have no idea what we're doing, find something you think is just so cool and pursue it. 2, never stop learning. Always ask questions and stay curious. There may be others with higher grades or better test scores, but as long as you are learning something, don't worry about it. Do not lose your fire. I lost my place. Being smart and wanting to learn is one of the best things you could do for yourself. 3, take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. If you have the chance to study abroad, do it. If there's an interesting internship, apply. It is the people who take advantage of opportunities revealed to them that go far. 4, be true to you. We will soon be surrounded by thousands of people that we don't know, and we will just want to fit in. However, being yourself is the best way to win them over. Do not lose yourself in the crowd. 5, make every moment count. Do not sit there and wish you were somewhere else. Take the time you have now and do something amazing. Lastly, I would just like to take a second and thank every single teacher that we have had the opportunity to learn from. We have all learned something important from each of you. Murray taught us to not go gentle into that good night. She taught us to try our hardest, but to take time to smell the roses. Fanning taught us that we can accomplish anything we put our minds to, and Walsh taught us that a good laugh is always necessary. So thank you for dealing with us and teaching us everything we know. And last but not least, let's go class of 2017!
Thank you, Sophia. Another great message. Before I begin my final message, I just want to recognize, and he would not want me to do that, but I'm going to. I saw him come in a little bit later, is Mr. Gordon Borns, who has been very important to our school and obviously very important to the University of California here at Riverside. So Gordon, I know you're back there somewhere because I saw you come in, so thank you for being here tonight. So seniors, this is it. You are the first. the first to graduate the graduating class of the Riverside STEM Academy and the Riverside STEM High School. 6 years ago, with 6 teachers and the support of a few parents, the Riverside Unified School District established the first STEM-focused school in the district. We began with 100 students, which quickly grew to 200, and you were only 7th graders then. I will never forget the first day when the school began in 5 rooms. One teacher, Mrs. Rubik, spent the first part of the year on the stage in the NPR. You remember that. We've come a long way since then, Mrs. Rubik. I will also never forget Mr. Stanford running around trying to help students and parents find the rooms and making our first official sign on a piece of white copy paper with simply STEM Academy, and securing it with blue tape to one of the 2 doors that led up to the three of the rooms at our new school. And so it began, leading to this monumental first day. Our schedule was different than all other schools, with 85-minute blocks of math and science and humanities along with physical education. We also began with our first Thursday symposium, and our first speaker was Pamela Clute. She was supportive and encouraging, focusing on the importance of STEM education and throwing her UCR bears out to students that answered questions. I would like to just take a brief moment to recognize and remember Dr. Clute. She was inspirational and worked with us in writing the very first UCR partnership agreement. I was planning actually to have her speak here today as a keynote speaker, and she truly is missed. As you go through your higher education students and future careers, take time to notice the beauty in the world around you. Beauty is there, but sometimes, as you know from your challenging coursework at RSA, it can be easily missed. Wherever you find that beauty, whether it's in the atom, the molecules, the code, the laws of physics, mathematics, and a drop of pond water, or a thin section of rock, the stars, the sky, and the natural world. One of the most famous and my personal favorite naturalists is John Muir, known for, among many things, his adventures in Yosemite National Park. He said, everybody needs beauty as well as bread, places to play in and pray in, and where nature may heal and give strength to the body and soul alike. There's beauty and there is wonder. And to use one of John Muir's favorite words, in this glorious world of ours. And this will help you to have a balanced academic and professional life. In your years at RSA, you have been the first 8th grade promoting class 4 years ago. The first in the 8th grade level, the first to take chemistry and AP biology in your freshman and sophomore years. You were the first to start RSA clubs and club members, go to midwinters and proms. You were the first to graduate from the Riverside STEM Academy. I look forward to continuing to hear from you and your progress. Press on and continue, even when it is tough. RSA has done its best to prepare you for your next academic exploits. Come back and let us know. Some of you will be future symposium speakers, just like Dr. Clute. Some are staying close by, and for those who are, we'll be needing mentors and tutors. You are the first, and you'll be the first to return. You'll always be part of the Riverside STEM Academy. You students, the RSA 2017 graduating class, are the first. Thank you. And now it is time to certify, which you were all here for, the 2017 class so that they may receive their diplomas. Mr. Lee, Mrs. Alavey, and Dr. Hanson, can you please stand with me up here on the stage? It is my duty and my pleasure to certify that the graduates sitting before you and that they have met all the qualifications as set by the state of California and have satisfied all graduation requirements as established by the Board of Education of the Riverside Unified School District.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. So Principal Moore, on behalf of the Riverside Unified School District, we accept the graduating class, the first class, 2017 from the Riverside STEM Academy.
Thank you, Mr. Lee and board and Dr. Hanson. You may be seated. I am now pleased to introduce our high school coordinator, Mr. Stanford, who will be presenting each student to receive their diploma. Mr. Stanford.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Class of 2017, the moment you've been waiting for and have worked so hard for is finally upon us, upon you. Crossing this stage is a special and symbolic moment, marking your movement from the world of your childhood into the world of adulthood. Your work, determination, and accomplishments here at the Academy have prepared you for this next step. And speaking on behalf of the staff who is seated directly behind you, we could not be prouder of each of you and each and every one of you. And I really want to wish you from the bottom of my heart, congratulations and good luck. Parents, friends, families, before we begin the awarding of diplomas, you will note that in your program, you will see a variety of symbols following the printed name of each of our graduates tonight. In addition to receiving diplomas, many of your students are being honored today for some important accomplishments, including academic honors based on cumulative high school GPA, bestowment of the California Golden State Seal of Merit for overall academic performance, the United States Presidential Award of Excellence, distinctive membership and service in the California Scholarship Federation, National Speech and Debate Performance Honors, and of course, recipients of the first Scholars Diplomas from Riverside Unified School District for students that completed a STEM capstone research project with high academic performance. Many of the graduates this evening are wearing regalia and pins that highlight their honors. And finally, after each graduate, every graduate has received their diploma and crossed the stage, members of the STEM High School Junior Honor Court, who are with us tonight, will present each graduate with the STEM Medal of Excellence, a symbolic badge to mark successful completion of the Riverside STEM Academy High School program. Will the Honor Court please step forward to your positions next to the stage? Highest honors graduate and Scholars Diploma recipient, Alex Herrera. Highest honors graduate, Aaron George Aguirre. Highest honors graduate, Selma Ursulina Condorker. Highest honors graduate, Corey Allen Lunsford. Honors graduate, Andrew Abadir. Honors graduate, Diego Alcala. Honors graduate, Alexander George Ahrensberger. High honors graduate and Scholars Diploma recipient, Connor Patrick Estron. STEM graduate, Hector Avina. Highest honors graduate, Michaela Bassig. Highest honors graduate and Scholars Diploma recipient, Sofia Renee Bautista. Honors graduate, Franklin Antonio Bertrand. Honors graduate, Robert Charles Blow III. Honors graduate Jesse Daniel Breslin. Highest honors graduate Paul Albert Campbell. High honors graduate Ethan Romero Carrillo. Highest honors graduate Liz Shirley Chavarin. Highest honors graduate Claire Elizabeth Devola. Highest honors graduate and Scholars Diploma recipient Elizabeth Fletes. High honors graduate and Scholars Diploma recipient Nicole Marie Fournier. STEM graduate Kevin Garcia. Honors graduate Theo Garland. Highest honors graduate Peter Gavrilov. STEM graduate Alan Gutierrez. Highest honors graduate Hannah Lynn Herrick. Highest honors graduate and Scholars Diploma recipient Melina Chiara Jacobo. Highest honors graduate and Scholars Diploma recipient Ian Dharmesh Kumar. High honors graduate Scott Nathaniel Lucius. High honors graduate Ruben Madrigal. Highest honors graduate Minuet McCarter. High honors graduate and Scholars Diploma recipient Armin Mabasher. Honors graduate Kenton Paul Muller. High honors graduate Adrian Orozco. High honors graduate Alexa Ortiz. Honors graduate Henry Guy Peel. Highest honors graduate Sydney Viridiana Pinuelas. STEM graduate Sabkurth Singh. Highest honors graduate Andrew Wei Wang. Honors graduate Sophia Ann Weiss. Honors graduate Taylor Vivian Nicolette Whitfield. High honors graduate Jacob Brian Yoakley.
Graduates, please rise. This is it. It has been my honor to have been your principal during your time at this academy. You may now move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left side. This is symbolic of the growth you have made as an individual and the transition you now take into a future hope and promise. Congratulations, class of 2017. You are officially dismissed. Parents and friends, after the students and staff recess, please join your graduate in the courtyard area for light refreshments to my right, and thank you all for being here. Our graduates are going to come down the center aisle, so wait for them to exit. Teachers, please go first. Or graduates, go first, I'm sorry. There we go. Oh, well. Thank you.